Welcome to Fazza Poetry World, where hearts turn into poetry. I am not coming to you like a traveler, with a suitcase full of clothes, and a camera full of curiosity. I am not coming to see your streets, your buildings, your sky. I am coming, because my soul arrived there long before I ever could. Because somewhere between our first hello and our thousandth good night, my heart quietly packed its bags and chose you, without asking me. You don't realize this, but I have already lived with you, in moments that never physically happened. I have walked beside you, on roads I've never seen. I have laughed with you, in rooms I've never entered. I have felt your presence, in spaces that were completely empty. And still, they felt full, because you were there. Distance, people say it's just miles, just numbers on a map, just time zones separating two clocks. But they're wrong. Distance is waking up and reaching for a phone instead of a hand. Distance is hearing your voice through a speaker instead of against my chest. Distance is loving someone with everything you have, and still not being able to hold them. And that is a different kind of pain. A quiet pain. A patient pain. A pain that doesn't scream, but slowly lives inside you. It hides in small things. In the first sip of coffee. When I wish you were sitting across from me. In the silence of mornings that feel incomplete without your voice. In nights that stretch too long, because your good night feels too far away. You became my habit, without ever being physically present. Tell me, how is that even possible? How does someone who has never touched my hand hold my entire heart? How does someone who has never stood beside me feel closer than everyone else? Maybe this is what real love looks like. Not perfect, not easy, not simple, but real. Because real love doesn't need proximity. It doesn't need convenience. It doesn't wait for the right conditions. It simply exists. And it grows. Quietly. Deeply. Endlessly. I remember the nights we stayed awake, long after the world had gone to sleep, talking about everything and nothing. About our fears, our past, our dreams, about a future we weren't even sure we would get. But we still imagined it. Because somehow, loving you made uncertainty feel safe. Do you remember the first time you said, "You feel like home"? I laughed. I didn't understand. How could I? I thought home was a place. Walls. Rooms. A familiar bed. But you changed that definition. Because now I know. Home is not where you are born. Home is not where you live. Home is where your heart finally feels at peace. And my heart, it stopped wandering the moment it found you. That's why I'm coming. Not because it's easy. Not because it's convenient. But because I can't pretend anymore that this distance is enough. It isn't. I need to see you. Not through pixels. Not through imagination. I need to see you. Standing in front of me, real. I need to hear your voice. Without a delay, without a screen. I need to feel what it's like to finally exist in the same moment as you. Do you understand what that means? It means no more one day, no more someday. It means now. And yes, I am afraid. I am afraid that reality might feel different. That the world we built with words and emotions might not match the one we step into. I am afraid that the magic might fade. But then I think, what if it doesn't? What if it becomes stronger? What if your smile is even more beautiful in real life? What if your voice sounds even warmer when it's right in front of me? What if that first hug, that one moment we've been waiting for, erases every doubt we ever had? Because I believe in that moment. I believe in the way two hearts that survived distance finally recognize each other. No words needed. Just a look. Just a breath. Just a heartbeat, saying, you're here. I imagine it every day. The airport. The noise. The announcements. People walking past us with their own stories. But in that crowd, I only see you. Standing there. Looking at me. Like you're trying to believe I'm real. And I will be trying not to cry. Because for the first time, you won't be a message. You won't be a voice note. You won't disappear. When the screen turns off, you'll stay right there in front of me. And maybe, just maybe, in that 1 second, the whole world will go silent. No past. No distance. No fear. Just us. And when I finally hold you, I won't say anything. Because what words could possibly explain months, years, of missing you? What sentence could carry all the late nights, all the quiet longing, all the unsaid emotions? No, I'll just hold you tighter. Because sometimes silence speaks louder than anything else. People ask me, why would you go so far for someone you've never met? And I just smile. Because they don't understand that I have met you. Not in person, but in every way that matters. I met you in your honesty. In your laughter. In your pain. I met you in the way you stayed when leaving would have been easier. I met you in every moment You chose me, even from miles away. So no, this is not a risk. This is a decision. A choice. A promise. A promise that this love will not stay trapped inside screens forever. That it deserves more. It deserves reality. It deserves presence. It deserves a heartbeat, close enough to feel. And now, the waiting is over. The countdown has ended. The someday we kept talking about has finally become today. I am coming to you. Not as a stranger. Not as a traveler. But as someone who already belongs with you. Because in a world full of temporary things, you became my forever. And no distance, no matter how cruel, no matter how long, could ever change that. Because real love doesn't get lost. It doesn't fade. It doesn't forget. It finds its way. Always. And this time, it found its way. All the way. To you. And now, I am closer than I have ever been. Closer than the nights we spent talking under different skies. Closer than the dreams that used to feel more real than my reality. Now, distance is no longer infinite. It is shrinking. With every mile. With every heartbeat. And I can feel it, that invisible thread that always connected us. It's pulling tighter. Stronger. Like it knows, this is the moment it has been waiting for. The journey itself feels different. The same sky, but it doesn't feel empty anymore. The same clouds, but now they carry hope instead of longing. Even time feels strange. It used to move slowly when I was waiting for your message. Now, it's racing forward. Like it wants to bring me to you faster. Every second feels heavier, but also lighter. Heavy with anticipation. Light with certainty. Because for the first time, I am not imagining you. I am going to see you. Do you understand how powerful that is to turn a dream into a destination? To turn a voice into a presence. To turn I miss you into I'm here. I keep replaying everything. Our first conversation. Our first laugh. The first time we stayed up too late. Just to hear each other breathe. Through silence. Who knew that something so simple would become something so important? Who knew that a stranger would become my safe place? You didn't force your way into my life. You didn't arrive with noise or chaos. You came quietly, like a soft melody that I didn't notice at first. But then it stayed. And slowly, it became the only song my heart wanted to hear. And now, that song is about to become real. I wonder what you're feeling right now. Are you nervous? Are you excited? Are you standing in front of the mirror, trying to calm your heartbeat? The same way I am, because I won't lie. My hands are shaking. Not from fear of you, but from the weight of this moment. From the reality that everything is about to change. Not in a bad way, but in a way that makes everything more real, more intense, more undeniable. Because once we meet, there is no going back to just messages, no returning to a world where you only exist behind a screen. You will become a memory I can touch, a moment I can relive, a reality I can never ignore again. And maybe that's why this feels so overwhelming. Because this is not just a meeting. This is a turning point. A line between what we imagined and what we are about to live. I imagine you walking toward me. Slowly. Not rushing, because you're afraid this moment might break if it moves too fast. Your eyes searching mine, trying to find the same person you fell in love with. And I'll be there, doing the same. Looking at you like you're a miracle I'm finally allowed to believe in. And when we finally stand face to face, what happens then? Do we smile? Do we laugh? Do we cry? Or do we just stand there, completely speechless? Because how do you greet someone who already knows your soul? How do you say hello to someone who never really left your heart? Maybe we don't need to say anything. Maybe our eyes will do all the talking. Maybe our silence will tell the whole story. A story of distance, of patience, of late nights and early mornings, of missed touches and imagined hugs. And then, that moment comes. The one we've both been waiting for. That first hug. Not rushed. Not awkward. But real. So real that it feels like time forgets to move. Your arms around me, my arms around you, and suddenly everything makes sense. Every lonely night, every tear, every moment we thought we couldn't do this anymore. It all leads here, to this one embrace. And in that hug, distance finally loses. Not slowly. Not partially. Completely. Because no matter how far apart we were, it all disappears the second we are together. I might close my eyes, just to feel it longer. Just to make sure this is not a dream I'm about to wake up from. And maybe I'll whisper your name. Not through a phone. Not through a message. But right there, next to your ear. Soft. Real. Alive. And you'll hear it, the way it was always meant to be heard. Do you know what the most beautiful part is? It's not just that I came to see you. It's that we didn't give up before this moment arrived. Because we could have. So many times. It would have been easier to walk away, to let distance win, to convince ourselves that this was too hard, too complicated, too unrealistic. But we didn't. We stayed. We fought. We believed. Even when it hurt. Even when it didn't make sense. And now, this moment is proof that it was worth it. Every second. Every mile. Every tear. Worth it. Because love like this, it's rare. It's not something you find every day. It's not something you replace when it gets difficult. It's something you hold onto, even when your hands are tired. And I held on. For you. For us. For this. So now, as I stand here, on the edge of everything we dreamed about, I'm not scared anymore. Not of distance. Not of reality. Because I know one thing, no matter what happens next, we already proved that our love is stronger than the space between us. And that is something no distance will ever take away again.